At Palwan Air Base, Philippines, Air Force Sergeant J.J. Playboy Kinney is given a 5-minute heads-up to prepare for a mission. Although not Halo qualified, he's now part of a Delta Force team assigned to rescue a CIA asset. Kinney boards a helicopter with Sergeant Abel, Sergeant Bishop, and Master Sergeant John Sugar Sweet. The asset was collecting intel on Alexander Petrov, a former KGB agent and Russian arms dealer. At Nellis Air Force Base, Captain Eddie Reaper Grimm, a drone pilot, is frustrated because someone moved his coffee pods. He has an op to join in 15 minutes. The Delta team is 6 minutes out from the landing zone. It's Kinney's second mission, but first with operators. So he receives instructions from the team to avoid mistakes during the operation. Though struggling initially, he manages to deploy the chute. Reaper takes control of the drone. Staff Sergeant Nia Branson joins him. She's getting married soon and invited Reaper to the wedding. In position, Reaper contacts the on-ground team. The team heads through a jungle, chatting. Sergeant Abel spots movement 100 meters ahead. Kinney is told to contact Reaper to check out a position 100 meters northeast. The drone malfunctions, losing connection. With no other drone, they must continue without air support. However, a Hornets is on standby, 30 minutes out. They decide to check out the movement themselves, finding it's just a pig. The team reaches the target, identifying 4 guards inside. They set up and devise a plan. Meanwhile, they spot Petrov and others approaching. It's Saeed Hashimi, head of Abu Sayyaf. By now, the drone is fixed and back in the air. Reaper takes control and makes contact with the team. Petrov and Hashimi walk into the compound, and suddenly Hashimi's men start shooting. They kill Petrov's guards and his wife in front of him, about to kill his son as well. Reaper is instructed to launch a Hellfire missile to strike the compound, but it's too late. Abel shoots Hashimi in the legs to save the kid. Kinney's position is compromised. He's directly above a cave entrance. 3 hostiles emerge, and although they're able to kill them, a grenade explodes, causing a collapse. 6 hostiles approach Abel from behind. Abel, Sugg, and Bishop engage, but Abel takes 2 shots to his stomach. Kinney still can't make contact with the team. 2 guys pull up with a truck and shoot an RPG towards Bishop and Sugg. Kinney reaches Abel's position, but Abel dies. Sugg instructs him to contact Reaper to take out the RPG guys. Reaper identifies the targets and launches a missile, but it's too late. Bishop and Sugg take an RPG hit, and they are KIA. Kinney evades machine gun fire and takes cover. Now, only Kinney is left in the 4-man team. Reaper makes contact with him and calms him down. Kinney heads towards the landing zone. While on the way, hostiles approach his position from the east and west. He hides in a swamp, and though a dog spots him, he gets out alive. He's now 1.2 kilometers from the landing zone. Reaper guides him towards a ridge with a path to the LZ. He chats with Kinney to keep his mind off what just happened and finds out they're both from Ohio. Kinney contacts the rescue helicopter and continues towards the LZ on foot. The helicopter lands, and as he approaches to board, he's shot in the back. Fortunately, his armor plates stop the bullet. The LZ is surrounded by hostiles with small arms and an RPG. The helicopter leaves, and 3 trucks approach the landing zone, with hostiles shooting at Kinney. Reaper takes them out, but another truck with more guys arrives from the west. Meanwhile, an F-18 Hornet arrives and bombs the enemies. The LZ is compromised, so Kinney needs to reach a different area 2.5 kilometers northeast from his current position. However, there's a big hill he first needs to cross. On his way to the new landing zone, Kinney slips and falls into a river, losing his rifle. Enemies engage him, and he manages to kill one with his service revolver, but runs out of bullets. He's now on the run. Reaching a cliff by a waterfall, enemies shoot at him. With no other options, he jumps, hiding under the waterfall. He continues downstream, finally getting away from the hostiles. Tired and exhausted, Kinney lays down to catch his breath, only to realize a guy is standing above him with a gun. He gets captured. Reaper updates Colonel about the situation on ground. Colonel approves him continuing the mission. Kinney is rescued by Sugg, who survived the RPG. However, Bishop is badly injured and captured. They salvage what they can, find guns, and head to rescue Bishop. On the way, Kinney rigs an antenna and contacts Reaper. He's told the asset has been found and they need to go for it, but Kinney denies and says Bishop has been captured. They're headed to the initial area to rescue him. He tells Reaper to contact the Combined Joint Special Operations Task Force for air support. Before Reaper can ask their location, the connection drops. Kinney and Sugg reach the compound and devise a plan to infiltrate. They get in touch with Reaper to confirm the plan. Close air support will strike caves north of the compound as a diversion, with 3 attacks, 15 minutes apart, starting at 11 o'clock. Before the conversation ends, the radio's battery is exhausted. Meanwhile, at Airbase, Colonel instructs Reaper to leave as his 8-hour shift is already extended to 10 hours, and Andrews is here as his replacement. Though adamant, Reaper is forced to leave. Sugg and Kinney check their gear and head towards the compound. Sugg kills 1 guard outside and heads inside. They both take out 2 guards inside the room watching soccer. 2 more guys show up, but they manage to take them out. Sugg and Kinney take out a couple more enemies, but Sugg gets shot. Laying on the floor, he saves Kinney's life by shooting the guy about to kill him. A grenade is tossed towards them, knocking them out and resulting in their capture. They spot Bishop held up at the same place inside the cave. They realize all 3 of them ended up in the exact spot they informed Reaper to blow up. 2 men with a camera take Sugg out of the cell. Hashimi executes him on camera. Meanwhile, the first airstrike happens on the surface. Kinney is taken out of the cell and carried further inside to be tortured for information. Hashimi strikes him with a hammer, ignoring his warning about more bombs. Kinney is then forcefully submerged in a tub filled with water to torture him. Reaper, relieved from duty, goes to the supermarket to buy groceries. It's time for the second airstrike, which hits above the cave where Kinney is held. The place is engulfed in flames, but Kinney survives because he's underwater. He starts looking for a way out and finds a cage with a person inside. Once freed, he realizes it's the CIA asset they came to rescue. While looking for Bishop, he sees Hashimi and manages to kill him using his own blade. He frees Bishop from the cage and uses the sat phone Hashimi had to call base to call off the final strike as they're still trapped inside the cave. Kinney reaches the base using the phone and asks for Reaper, unaware that Andrews has taken over the mission. A sergeant gives Kinney Reaper's cell phone number and disconnects. Meanwhile, Reaper is on a call with his wife when Kinney reaches him. Not recognizing the unknown number, Reaper doesn't pick up. At the billing counter, Reaper checks the voicemail and hears Kinney's message to abort. Reaper tries to reach the phone at the base, but nobody picks up. With less than 2 minutes left, he decides to drive to the base and arrives with 30 seconds left until the strike. Reaper reaches the control station and instructs the plane's pilot to abort. Bishop, Kinney, and the asset manage to get out alive. Reaper, angry, finds the phone's ringer off and tells the colonel how the Delta Team operatives were about to die. He breaks the TV with a golf stick. The movie ends with Naya asking Reaper to walk her down the aisle.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel.